In the thorax region, the rib cage and the diaphragm are observed, which play a vital role in respiration. Present within the rib cage are the pleural membranes, which enclose the lungs. The right lung consists of 3 lobes, while the left lung has only 2 lobes. Both the lungs are associated externally with bronchi, which unite and extend into the trachea. As we breathe, the oxygen molecules enter the nostrils and travel downwards, through the pharynx and trachea, to finally reach the bronchi. From each bronchus, oxygen travels into the lungs. Within the lungs, the bronchus divides repeatedly to form bronchioles. Oxygen travels through these bronchioles and reaches the alveoli, each of which is surrounded by a network of capillaries. As blood flows through the capillaries, the oxygen molecules from the alveolus diffuse into the capillary. This causes oxygenation of the RBCs. The carbon dioxide molecules are released into the alveolus. They are collected in the alveolar chamber, and then from the alveolus, it travels through the bronchioles. Into the bronchus, which finally reaches the trachea and is breathed out through the nostrils.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.
usually due to an atherosclerotic plaque, a coronary artery spasm, or a coronary artery dissection. In atherosclerosis, the continued deposition of a fatty plaque results in the narrowing of the involved coronary artery. Rupture of this plaque results in the formation of a blood clot, thereby causing a blockage of the involved coronary artery. The formation of a blood clot is the most common cause of a coronary artery blockage. Other less common causes of coronary artery blockage include a coronary artery spasm, which is triggered by drugs, smoking, cold weather or extreme stress, resulting in a sudden tightening of the coronary artery, or a coronary artery dissection, in which the inside wall of the coronary artery separates, resulting in a blockage to the blood flow. Such a blockage to either of the coronary arteries results in oxygen and nutrients failing to reach the part of the heart supplied by it, causing the death of the heart muscle, a condition known as myocardial infarction.
Your heart is an incredible organ that works non-stop, but do you know exactly how it works? Here are 11 fascinating facts about your heart that you probably didn't know about. 1. If you're a kid, your heart is about the size of your fist, and it increases in size as you grow older. 2. Your heart beats 100,000 times per day, or more than 2.5 billion times in your life. 3. It can pump roughly 1 million barrels of blood in a lifetime, enough to fill more than 3 supertankers. 4. That can also be equivalent to a faucet that's been turned on for 45 years. 5. When your body is at rest, it takes 16 seconds for the blood to travel all the way to the toes and back to the heart. 6. It pumps blood to 75 trillion cells, except your corneas, which receive no blood supply. 7. The human heart contains 4 valves which make the thumping sound whenever they close. 8. When in the womb, baby's heart starts beating in the first 4 weeks. 9. And when it's fully developed, a woman's heart beats faster than a man's. 10. Compared to any muscle in the human body, your heart does the most physical work, producing a power output between 1 to 5 watts. 11. Interestingly, your heart can still function even when separated from your body, but only with an adequate supply of oxygen. Always take care of your heart by eating unprocessed foods, exercising regularly, managing your stress, optimizing your vitamin D levels, and getting enough omega-3 fats. Make good, hearty life choices. Your heart will love you for it.
The nervous system is the control center of the human body. It is highly sophisticated, enabling the body to perceive, interpret, and respond to changes in its environment, while also facilitating cognitive processes such as learning, memory, and language. The nervous system controls voluntary processes, including the action of skeletal muscles, and involuntary processes, including circulation, respiration, and digestion. The nervous system can be divided both structurally and functionally. Structurally, the nervous system can be divided into the central and peripheral nervous systems. The central nervous system, CNS, comprises the brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system, PNS, comprises all the nervous structures outside the CNS. The peripheral nervous system includes the cranial nerves, spinal nerves, sympathetic trunk, and splanchnic nerves. The peripheral nervous system connects the central nervous system to muscles, organs, and sensory receptors.
This is the ventral surface of the brain, and what you see are the Peel vessels, this nice blush with the clear leptomeninges and the vessels running in between the arachnoid and the pia. The cerebrospinal fluid has leaked out through the cisterns and a quick subluxation of the vertebra or a herniation of the disc can cause to the delicate spinal cord, which is about the width of one of these gyri. These gyri are nice. There's no big space between them, but neither does it look particularly swollen for a patient.
is signified by his brain, which is a mythical object. The greatest intelligence of all provides an image of the most up-to-date machine. Perhaps because of his mathematical specialization, Superman is here divested of every magical character. No diffuse power in him, no mystery other than the mechanical. He's a superior, a prodigious organ. Einstein himself has to some extent been a party to the legend by bequeathing his brain, for the possession of which 2 hospitals are still fighting, as if it were an unusual piece of machinery which it will at last be possible to dismantle. One speaks about his thought as of a functional labor analogous to the making of sausages. He used to produce thought continuously, as a mill makes flour, and death was above all to him the cessation of a localized function. The most powerful brain of all has stopped thinking.
Brain. The brain consists of 3 parts. The forebrain controls all thoughts, senses, motor functions, emotions, and hunger. The midbrain controls auditory and visual reflexes as well as awareness. The hindbrain controls coordination and analysis of senses. Brains have a similar texture to tofu. There are 100,000 miles of blood vessels within the brain, enough to circle the earth 4 times. The ancient Egyptians believed the brain's function was to produce snot. Though the brain only makes up 2% of the body's weight, it uses 20% of the body's energy. A person's brain has 100 billion neurons. These cells are known as the gray matter, which process information. Einstein's brain has been preserved for study. It is split into 240 separate slides for viewing. 89.06 is the percentage of people who report normally writing with their right hand, 10.6% with their left, and 0.34% with either hand. More electrical impulses are generated in one day by a single human brain than by all the telephones in the world. After age 30, the brain shrinks 0.25% in mass each year. The brain can stay alive for 4 to 6 minutes without oxygen. After that, brain cells begin to die. The fact that people use only 10% of their brain is a myth. Humans use 100% of their brains. The composition of the brain is 77 to 78% water, 10 to 12% lipids, 8% protein, 1% carbs, 2% soluble organics, 1% inorganic salt. It is currently impossible to measure the possible storage potential of a brain. A professor at Northwestern University suggests that if a human brain was converted into a hard drive-like device, it could store 2.5 petabytes of data. That equals more than 500,000 DVDs or 100,000 Blu-ray discs.
Patient has a fractured fibula. Given a mild sedative. So he could be able to go on tomorrow.
Daddy's gonna be so excited.
All good. That killed him. Thank you. Thank you.
எங்கடா இருக்க?
கண்ணாமூச்சி ரே ரே கண்டுபிடி யாரு?
அவ ஓடி ஒளிர ஆள் இல்ல, தேடி அடிக்கிற ஆளுன்னு.
தெரிக்க விடலாமா?